And here's my sister Olivia. Amanda's voice dripped with fake sweetness as she introduced me to her circle of friends at her lavish promotion party. Still living in that tiny apartment downtown, working that same boring job she's had forever. Some of us just aim higher, I guess. I stood there, champagne glass in hand, maintaining my composure as my sister continued her performance. The crystal chandeliers of the upscale restaurant seemed to mock me along with her, their light catching every perfect detail of Amanda's designer dress while highlighting what she clearly considered my inferior appearance. My name is Olivia Chen, and at 32, I've spent my entire life in my younger sister's shadow. Amanda, now 29, had always been the successful one in our family's eyes. She worked at Sterling Technologies, constantly bragging about her rapid rise through the ranks while dismissing my career as insignificant. Remember when Mom and Dad thought you'd be the successful one? Amanda laughed, drawing knowing smirks from her friends. All those perfect grades, always studying. Look where that got you, stuck in the same position while I'm celebrating my promotion to regional director. I took another sip of champagne, letting the bubbles mask the bitter taste in my mouth. What Amanda didn't know, what none of them knew, was exactly where those years of hard work had led me. At least she showed up this time, one of Amanda's friends chimed in. Remember your last promotion party? She was too busy with her important project to attend. That important project had been the final phase of my secret acquisition of Sterling Technologies, but of course they didn't know that either. Oh, Olivia's great at excuses, Amanda continued, her voice carrying across the room. She's always working on something big that never seems to materialize. Meanwhile, I just closed the biggest deal in Sterling's history. I watched her preen, remembering all the similar moments throughout our lives. Amanda scoring the lead in a school play while I stayed late working on the lighting design. Amanda being crowned prom queen while I organized the event. Amanda getting a full ride to business school based on our parents' connections while I worked 3 jobs to pay my own way. Speaking of deals, Amanda raised her voice, commanding the room's attention. I should thank my sister for something. Watching her play it safe all these years taught me exactly what not to do. Sometimes you have to take big risks to get big rewards. The room tittered with polite laughter. I noticed Mr. Harrison, Sterling's current CEO, standing near the back, his expression unreadable as he observed the scene. I mean, look at us now, Amanda gestured broadly. I'm regional director, about to be youngest vice president in Sterling's history. And she paused for effect. What is it you do again, sis? Something with spreadsheets. Before I could respond, Mr. Harrison stepped forward, clearing his throat. The room immediately fell silent. Amanda's smile froze as her boss approached. Actually, he said, his voice carrying clearly through the suddenly quiet room, I believe your sister has an announcement of her own to make. Olivia? I set down my champagne glass, straightening my simple but elegant blazer. The moment I'd been working toward for 5 years had finally arrived. Thank you, James, I said, watching confusion spread across Amanda's face at my casual use of the CEO's first name. I suppose now is as good a time as any to share the news. I stepped forward, feeling the weight of every eye in the room. Amanda's perfectly manicured hand tightened around her glass as I moved to stand beside Mr. Harrison. You see, Amanda, those spreadsheets you mentioned, they were part of something bigger, much bigger. I paused, savoring the moment. As of next Monday, I'll be taking over as CEO of Sterling Technologies. James here is retiring, and the board unanimously approved my appointment last week. The sound of Amanda's glass shattering on the floor echoed through the silent room. This is a joke, right? Amanda's voice quivered as she stared at Mr. Harrison, desperately seeking confirmation that I was lying. Mr. Harrison, tell them this is a joke. Not at all, he replied calmly. Your sister has been working with us behind the scenes for years, strategically acquiring shares and proving her leadership capabilities. The board's decision was unanimous. I watched as Amanda's carefully constructed world began to crumble. Her friends, who moments ago had been laughing at my expense, now shifted uncomfortably, trying to distance themselves from her earlier mockery. But I'm next in line. Amanda stammered, her face flushing red. I've been here for 7 years. I've earned this. 7 years of taking credit for other people's work, I said quietly, just loud enough for those nearby to hear. 7 years of stepping on others to climb the corporate ladder. Mr. Harrison nodded. The board has been watching Amanda. We've seen how you operate, your recent big deal that you're so proud of, the one you claimed as your own. The team you stole it from came to us weeks ago with documentation. Amanda's perfect makeup couldn't hide the pallor that spread across her face. That's not. I can explain. Your sister, on the other hand, Mr. Harrison continued, has spent the last 5 years quietly revolutionizing our operations. Those boring spreadsheets you mocked, they've saved the company millions and improved working conditions for our employees across all divisions. I could see the exact moment when Amanda realized the full implications of what was happening. Her eyes darted around the room, noting how her former allies were already gravitating toward me, their new CEO. Mom and Dad won't stand for this, she hissed, grabbing my arm and pulling me aside. They'll never accept you running the company. I gently removed her hand from my arm. Mom and Dad have known for months, Amanda. Who do you think helped me acquire my initial shares? Her eyes widened in shock. Our parents, who had always seemed to favor her, had been in on this? Remember last Christmas? I continued, when you were bragging about your bonus and they seemed distracted. They were signing the final paperwork to transfer their shares to me. But they always supported me, Amanda whispered, more to herself than to me. They supported both of us, Amanda. You were just too busy competing to notice. Mr. Harrison stepped forward again, his expression stern. Given the recent discoveries about your conduct, Amanda, we'll need to discuss your position with the company on Monday. The crowd that had gathered to celebrate Amanda's promotion was now witnessing her potential downfall. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. You can't do this, Amanda said, her voice rising. I've given everything to this company. No, I corrected her, you've taken everything you could from this company. There's a difference. I turned to address the room, slipping naturally into the role of CEO. Everyone, please enjoy the rest of the evening. There's much to celebrate, not just changes in leadership, but the bright future ahead for Sterling Technologies. As conversations slowly resumed and people began to mill about, Amanda stood frozen, watching her carefully cultivated image dissolve. Her designer dress and perfect hair couldn't mask the defeat in her posture. One of her friends, or former friends, I suppose, approached me with a business card. I have some ideas for improving our department's efficiency, she said, pointedly ignoring Amanda. Would you have time to discuss them next week? Of course, I replied, accepting the card. My door is always open to innovative ideas. More people began approaching me, each eager to introduce themselves to the new CEO. From the corner of my eye, I saw Amanda slip away toward the exit, her grand promotion party becoming my impromptu welcome celebration. Mr. Harrison touched my elbow gently. I know you'll do great things for Sterling, Olivia. Your sister's party seems like the perfect place to announce the change. Poetic justice, wouldn't you say? I smiled, remembering all the parties and family gatherings where Amanda had belittled my choices and mocked my career path. Sometimes the best success is the kind no one sees coming. The following Monday, I'd arrived at Sterling Technologies headquarters early, well before most employees would start their day. The security guard did a double take as I walked through the lobby. News of the leadership change hadn't reached everyone yet. My new office on the top floor offered a spectacular view of the city skyline. As I settled behind the desk that had been delivered over the weekend, I found myself thinking about the long path that had led here. A knock at the door interrupted my thoughts. It was my parents. We brought you something, Mom said, holding up a framed photo. It was from my college graduation, me in my cap and gown, beaming at the camera while holding my business degree. Amanda hadn't attended, claiming she had a modeling shoot that couldn't be rescheduled. We thought it should be your first personal touch in the new office, Dad said, helping Mom hang it on the wall. We're so proud of you, Olivia. Even though it meant keeping secrets from Amanda, I asked, voicing the question that had been nagging at me. Mom sighed, turning to face me. Your sister needed to learn that success isn't about putting others down. Maybe this will finally teach her that lesson. Before we could discuss it further, my assistant knocked to inform me that Amanda had arrived and was demanding to see me. Send her in, I said, squeezing Mom's hand reassuringly. You might want to give us a moment alone. My parents nodded, heading for the door just as Amanda burst in. She stopped short at the sight of them. You knew, she accused. All this time, you knew and you didn't tell me. We raised both our daughters to be successful, Dad said firmly. We just didn't expect you to define success as stepping on others." They left, closing the door behind them. Amanda stood there, looking smaller somehow in her expensive suit, her perfect facade cracking. "You're really going through with this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Sit down, Amanda." I gestured to the chair across from my desk. "We need to talk about your future at Sterling." "My future?" She laughed bitterly. You're not firing me?" "No," I replied, opening a folder on my desk. "Despite what you might think, I'm not you. I don't destroy people to elevate myself." Her shoulders relaxed slightly, but wariness remained in her eyes. "However," I continued, "you'll be transferred to our Seattle office. Fresh start, clean slate. Your new position will be junior project manager." "Junior?" she sputtered. "That's 3 levels below my current position. A position you've gained through manipulation and taking credit for others' work," I reminded her. "You'll have the opportunity to earn your way up, legitimately this time." She slumped in her chair, the fight leaving her. "Why aren't you just firing me?" "Because you're my sister, Amanda, and because I believe everyone deserves a chance to learn from their mistakes." For the first time in years, I saw a glimpse of the sister I used to know, before competition and jealousy had twisted her. "I don't know if I can do this," she admitted quietly. "You can," I assured her. "You have real talent, Amanda. You just need to learn to use it to lift others up instead of pushing them down." 6 months later, I received my first report about Amanda's progress in Seattle. She had started a mentoring program for new employees, earning genuine respect from her team. Her latest project had come in under budget and ahead of schedule, all properly credited to the entire team. During our monthly family dinner, Mom showed me a text from Amanda. She had invited a junior colleague to share the presentation spotlight for their upcoming client meeting. "She's learning," Mom smiled, squeezing my hand. "Baby steps," I agreed. The following week, an email arrived from Amanda. "Sis, I owe you an apology. Actually, I owe you about 1,000 apologies. But mostly, I owe you a thank you. You could have destroyed me, but instead, you showed me a better way to succeed. My team just landed a major contract, and for the first time, the victory feels real because I earned it. I'm proud to be your sister. Love, Amanda." I smiled, pinning the email to my board alongside that college graduation photo. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about showing others how to be better. Looking out over the city from my office window, I thought about how success comes in many forms. For me, it wasn't just about becoming CEO. It was about maintaining my integrity while helping others, even those who had hurt me, find their own path to genuine achievement. And that perhaps was the greatest victory of all.